Yes, students, we meet again for the same chapter, animal tissue, that we did on the previous video. You have seen already. So we did animal tissue. Today we are going to do the third part. First part we did the plant tissue. Second part we started the animal tissue. We have done the epithelial, we have done the muscular, and we have done the nervous tissue. And today the last part of the animal tissue we are going to do, that is the connective tissue. Quickly I'll recapitulate what we did in the previous class, that about the muscular tissue. I hope you all have gone through the lesson, striated, non-striated and cardiac. Okay, and the differences, everything, I wrote it on the board, you must have seen it. And the nervous tissue that makes the nervous system of our body, the brain, the spinal cord and the nervous tissue, the special nerve cells which are specialized for this particular function of response to stimuli, the neurons. We did the diagram of the neurons and we have seen each neuron, each nerve cell, from one end it receives the stimuli, that's the dendrites, then it gets stimulated and then it passes on the stimulus to the next cell through the axon, the long fiber that you have drawn. You must have seen it. So this way throughout the body, the sensation, wherever it is the stimuli is there, it will receive the sensation and pass on the message to all the parts of the body. And it will go to the muscles, and as you know, muscles will do the work and will respond to whatever stimulus is coming to us. So that's the nervous tissue we have finished, and the muscular tissue. So today we start the connective tissue. So I've already got the chart for you. So as I explained, you follow the chart also. So which tissue is called the connective tissue? It is first thing, from the name only you can make out. Connective means it is connecting. Connecting what? Connecting the different organs, different parts of the body. Keeping connection. And like suppose your mummy is packing something in a box. When we pack the things made out of glass, which is breakable, which can break. So what do? We put paper stuff in between so that they will not be moving and they will remain in their fixed place. Same way, connective tissue is also called the packaging tissue. Why? Because it connects all the various important organs, and so that it keeps them in the proper place. They are not be able to move. So that is very important function, and it is also, it makes it 30% of total body parts. Inside, over the skeleton, we have got the muscles. So the 30% of that tissue is the connective tissue from our whole body, whatever the part we have got. Clear? So it's mostly found tissue. Amongst all the tissues, connective tissue is the most abundant one. Now it is classified into, you can see as it's written here, 3 parts. What are the 3 types? Fibrous connective, second one is skeletal connective, and third one is vascular connective tissue. So fibrous, from the name, fibrous, the tissue cells are fibrous in structure, and again they are further divided into 4 parts: areola, adipose, tendon and ligament. Right? So 4 types of the fibrous connective tissue. Let's start with the first one. Which tissue is called the areola? The tissue which is behind, just beneath our skin. It makes a continuous layer. Just beneath the skin, all over the body, the continuous layer of the tissue, that is the areola tissue. And it acts as the packing material, already I have told you. And the function is to support and bring about the movement in different parts of the body. Suppose the joints, the bones are joining. If there is no flexible tissue in between, how will they move? So the connective tissue has got very important function for us in our body. So which one is areolar tissue? It is the continuous layer of the tissue beneath the skin, first point. Second point, it fills up all the empty spaces. Suppose we have got different organs inside the body. We have got heart, we have got lungs, we have got the different organs of the digestive system. So there is no space is empty. There is no hollow in between. Every part is packed so that everything is in the right space. And that tissue is a special tissue which is known as the connective tissue. Second one is adipose. What is special about adipose? They are hollow. The cells of these tissue, they are hollow and they store fat. for the future use. So all the fat of the body is stored in the adipose tissue, and that also acts as a shock absorbers, especially the vital organs of the body. Around them this adipose tissue is there, so that whenever there is any jerk or any part of the body gets hurt, they are the ones which receives that shock first, and they do not allow the organs to be damaged. And they are also called insulators. Why? Because the insulator means, you know what is insulator? You have done conductor and insulator in physics. Insulator means the outside temperature, the heat is not allowed to enter. We are all warm-blooded animal. We have got a fixed body temperature, and so it maintains the body temperature and it acts as the insulator. So that is due to the storage of fat inside. So adipose tissue, it stores fat, it acts as shock absorber and acts as the insulator. Third one, tendon. You must have heard this tendon and ligament, especially from the players, the football players. They damage, when they get hurt, they, as the doctors say, the ligament or the tendon is damaged. So what is it? The tendon is the tissue which is strong, but its flexibility is not so much. It is strong, it provides strength, and it joins the muscles to the bones. The bones inside, will just do the bones next. Bones that makes our endoskeleton, skeleton inside the body. So muscles are joined with the bones with the help of the tendon, and they provide the flexibility. This is the movement is due to the these tissues. The next one is ligament. Now the difference between tendon and ligament is tendon is less flexible, whereas the ligament is highly flexible. They help us to move because they join bones to bones, especially at the joints, the bending. We are bending and we are moving. So between, suppose the two bones are there, if there were no tissues in between, how would you move? So they provide the flexibility, and they, in the bending and the rotation, suppose we are rotating our head like this. So there, this tissue is between the two bones, and it is helping us to bring about the movement there. So fibrous tissue are of four types. What are they? Areolar, adipose, tendon and ligament. You just have to learn 3 or 4 points about all the tissues, not in very much detail. Second type of the connective tissue we come, skeletal. 2 types, bone and cartilage. From the name only you can make out the bone. What does it do? It provides the skeleton. The inside the skeleton is there, at which will support the body and give us the shape of the body. So skeletal muscles, the bone, it is hard. You know bone is hard, and it makes the why it is called endoskeleton? Because the skeleton is inside. That's why I call endoskeleton. With like the fish. Fishes have the scales, but because that is above the skin, that's why the scales are called the exoskeleton. So endoskeleton means the skeleton which is inside the body. And what is the main things that make the skeleton? Calcium, magnesium and phosphorus. You know the children are given by doctor the calcium tablets. Why? Can you tell me why? Because the calcium helps to make the bones. They make the bones strong. That's why the bone is mostly made out of the different compounds, which is made out of the calcium. You have done in chemistry, Ca for calcium, Mg for magnesium and P for phosphorus. These are the main substances. But we have got some long bones. What about the long bones? You know long bones are hollow. What is filled inside? Bone marrow. You know bone marrow, especially those who eat non-veg food, those who eat meat. Don't you suck the long bones? What do you suck in? That is the long bone that you suck in when you eat meat. That is the bone marrow. It's very, very important because all the red blood cells of a body, the white blood cells of the body, they are all prepared in this bone marrow. So bone, what does it do? What are the 2 points we learned? This is hard. This makes the endoskeleton. Mostly the substances that make the bone, what are they? Calcium, magnesium and phosphorus. Then bone marrow inside the long bones, which are very important because the red blood cells of a body and the white blood cells of the body, they are formed inside those hollow bones where the bone marrow is filled in. Second part, cartilage. Where is it present? All of you know. What about this nose? What about your external ear? They have support, it's strong, but isn't it flexible? You can move this part. So that means it is also the skeletal tissue. It is very firm, but is very flexible. And it reduces the friction and provides flexibility. So both are same type, bone and cartilage. Difference is bone is hard and cartilage is much more flexible. And both of them, they provide the support. Next one, vascular. Do you remember in the plant tissue we did the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem? What do? They transport the substances. Conduction is the function. Same way in the animal tissue also, vascular tissue, which is blood and lymph, that also conducts, transports. Blood, you know, this is the only liquid tissue. All are solid. This is the only liquid tissue, blood. Now, blood is made out of two parts. One is plasma and many cells are there. The plasma, the liquid part, the base, the matrix we call, that is called the plasma. And in the plasma, the different types of blood cells are there. Red blood cells are there, white blood cells are there, and third type called blood platelets. So different cells are, I will write in short, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Each one has got its own function. Red blood cells, they contain one iron-rich pigment, that's called hemoglobin. Have you heard of the word? When we go for the blood test, doctors, they count whether the hemoglobin is right or not. If any person has got less hemoglobin, he or she is called anemic, means less blood. So what is this hemoglobin? It's a very important iron-rich pigment, and this hemoglobin only transports oxygen to each and every living cell of the body. We are breathing in, we are taking the air through the nose, but that oxygen has to go to each and every cell of your body because cells are all living. How do they get this oxygen? Through the blood. Which part of the blood? The red blood cells. They carry oxygen and important substances to all the part of the body, and at the same time red blood cells, they collect all the unwanted substances, like after breathing carbon dioxide which is given out, that will also be collected by them and brought back. So the transportation of the substances through the red blood cells. White blood cells, you know, they are called the police force. Generally we say they are police force of a body. What do the police do? Protect us. So they also protect us from the different diseases, germs, all because they produce rather, I would say, antibodies inside the body which will fight against the germs. Suppose any germ is there, nowadays you are hearing about a lot of this virus. So virus, if any virus attacks the person, if the person is fully immunized, if he has got a lot of antibodies, can fight, you will not be sick. But if you have got less antibody in your body, if you are not able to fight, you will be affected by any particular type of germs. So it's very important that we have proper WBC or white blood cells in our body. Third one, blood platelets. That's also very important because it helps in blood clotting. Suppose you have cut, we have got the wound and person is bleeding. So the blood automatically, when it comes out, there is a protein in the blood which is called fibrin, and that when it comes exposed to the air, it becomes thickens out rather, I would say, and makes a layer. That is called the fibrinogen or fibrin, and that helps the blood to clot. So platelets, what does it do? It helps the blood to clot so that no one will die of bleeding. Don't you see when you cut yourself, suppose after 1 or 2 days, a thin layer, darkish thin layer is formed, later on it dries up and comes out, till the cells are formed beneath. So that is the blood clotting is done. So blood is very important. Two parts of the body. What are the blood made out of? The liquid part, plasma, and the cells called platelets. RBC, that is mainly for transporting oxygen and important substances to parts. WBC for immunization, preparing the antibodies and helping our body, and platelets in blood clotting. So I've written the function, transportation and maintaining the body temperature. The body temperature, the fixed body temperature is maintained by the blood. The last part of this vascular tissue, lymph. Lymph is also plasma, but it doesn't have the RBC. And it sort of acts as a middle person between the blood transport to the different organs, and from there it transports. So it's just a liquid part of the conducting tissue only, but it is only plasma without the red blood cells. So that is your connective tissue. What is the connective tissue? What did you learn today in the connective tissue? It is the most abundant tissue, connects all the different parts of the body, different organs in the body, is packed in between the empty spaces, so that is also called the packaging tissue. And it's different types, fibrous, see the names properly, read and learn the spellings please. Fibrous, skeletal, vascular. When you are learning it, pronounce it properly, spell it and pronounce it properly. Fibrous is areola, EO, areola, adipose, tendon and ligament. Skeletal, bone and cartilage. And vascular, blood and lymph. Clear? So that is your connective tissue.